Hi everyone, we're here in the 100 yards and in part of the program, and I'm here with one of the best players to ever live, Nelly, and we're gonna hit some shots from 89 to 113 yards, so if you wanna improve your game, this is where you need to spend most of your time. 50 what are your progressions?
So I have a 58, 54, 50 pitching wedge with me right now.
Got it.
The first, the red flag is 89 yards. It's a little into balls below my feet, so I'm gonna go with the 54 and kind of hit a little bit of a knockdown, try to take the spin off, because with the stance, ball below my feet, I would, if there was no wind and I had a regular lie, I would probably try to squeeze the 58 because it is on the front of the green and I would want it to come in high and soft. Yep. But with the stance and the wind, I'm going to kind of try and float a 54 in, controlled and with less spin.
And you just don't want, with this wind and the ball below your feet, you don't want it kicking up on you at all?
Yeah, correct.
More flighted? Yeah,
more flighted. And just with the stance also, you are tending to go a little bit more right. So the wind is a little bit off the right, so that's just going to help kind of keep it straight. So I think I'm just going to aim directly at it and help. The wind's going to help me kind of keep it straight.
Perfect.
Okay.
Let's see it.
89.
89 in off the right.
Probably playing, I would say, like mid 90s.
I would say 94, 95.
Yeah.
Yes. Chop. It's as simple as that.
Not bad.
You think? How good is that?
It's spun a little, but not bad.
I think that's more the fact that greens are as firm and fast as they are.
Yeah. But I'm not going to put it back in my stance or anything. I'm just going to kind of set up to it a little, just normal, and aim a little bit more left than I normally would. And the wind kind of helps it at the end of the shot. A little more spin back on that one.
Beautiful.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the back one. 113.
113 with a little kind of a ledge, so you got to carry it at least 110.
Yeah.
Minimum?
Yeah, correct. So same thing. Ball below my feet. I'm playing a pitching wedge. Okay. This again, I would probably hit a 50 degree, but you know, when it's windy, swing easy.
How far do you normally hit a full pitching wedge?
Around 125. If I'm under the gun, then with a little bit of adrenaline, around 130.
Yep.
But I'd never hit my shots 100%. I'm more of like a 90% type of range. So 113, I would say it's probably playing like what, 118-ish?
I was leaning towards 19.
19, yeah. Okay. A little bit more off my right, I think, on this angle. Same thing, ball below my feet. But I feel like it's a little bit more off my right, so I'm gonna aim it maybe a flag stick right.
Pin high.
Good distance, just
pin high.
A little bit more right than I wanted to. Would you aim this at the pin?
If I was hitting this shot, I see pitching wedge for me at 113 yards, and I'm, well, off this lie, I'm looking off the lip of that bunker to the fringe, and I'm hitting a little hold handle and sticking it in the ground and just holding it off that bunker and just letting the hill and the winds be my friend and have as a backboard.
Okay. Got it.
So I don't care how big the divot is. I'm just sticking it in the ground and holding it on this wind.
Yeah, so you're trying to hit a low kind of controlled
I'm seeing that right now because my 56 would be up shooty too much and I couldn't control pin high.
Yeah. You would probably get that rip back off the slope and everything.
I don't want it to rip.
Yeah,
I want to land it and be dead still, right?
Yep. I'll try to do what you were explaining.
Beautiful shot. That was so nice. Just
a little bit more into the ground than I would normally.
That doesn't matter, right? All right, we found another spot on top of a plateau. We got a back right hole location. We have 97 yards. We're slightly more into the wind now on angle wise. And Nelly, what are you going to do?
Okay, so I think it's 97, probably playing high 110, around there. Definitely a little bit more into, so not going to use the wind as much. Probably just going to play a little bit more of a flighted, low spin shot into this pin. It is on a plateau, so making sure you cover to the top and not getting that rip back is probably key to this.
Agreed.
To stay close, especially inside 100 yards. I mean, these are your scoring clubs, so you want to get it as close as possible without the wind affecting it.
Correct, totally agree.
So I'm probably going to hit that 110 shot.
Flighted draw, cut, straight ball?
Straight ball.
Hold.
Yeah.
Ball? Okay.
I'm just gonna, it's off my right now a little bit, so I like it when the wind kind of works the ball. So I let the wind work the ball on its own.
Well done.
So a little bit more penetrating.
Yeah, totally agree with that.
And yeah, I like to hit more of the straight balls into the wind, into sides of winds, because then, especially off when it's left to right, I'm more draw bias. Yeah. So when I have the wind off the left, I just start it obviously left of the pin and have the wind kind of bring it in. So I like to hit straight balls when it comes to windy conditions.
If you had, well, let's throw out the window. It's 97 yards, and let's call it no wind.
Okay.
How would you hit one this distance higher?
I would go to my 54, and my 54 under pressure carries around 103.
So this should land
just past it and come back.
In a full situation with this amount of wind. Now, would you be able to hit it, this one comfortably to the flag, hitting it high?
No, it would come up short.
Okay.
Always.
That's fine.
Yeah, because then on top of it, when you hit the ball harder, obviously it starts to spin more. Yeah. And on top of the wind, it's just going to spin even more.
Love that.
So for me, it's just hit more down on it. I don't care if I'm making a bigger divot, but hit a little bit more down on it and try to kind of flight it more in there. When I'm more on a plateau and the ball's not that far behind, below my feet, I'm gonna put it a little bit more back in my stance as well.
Wind gust.
Oh yeah.
Wind gust, gotcha.
It's perfect for the white pin.
Well, the wind
just came up. The
wind just came up. It just stood the ball up.
Yeah.
So okay, let's imagine that. Now we have this wind peaking now. You feel that? How would you drive one in here now with this amount of wind and taking that wind out of play?
I think I would actually go to my pitching wedge, which is right here. And I would control that in there as well. Again, a little bit more of a narrow stance. So my body doesn't sway. Because when it gets windy, I have long levers, so I start to sway a lot. So more narrow, kind of like a pitch shot.
Right through it. That was a beautiful shot, though.
A little long.
No, that was beautiful shape, shot, feel. That was wonderful.
Thank you.
3 different shots to the same flag. That's how I like to practice.
Yeah.
It's different shape shots to the same distance, and then obviously different windows. But as we've talked about, you have to spend your time here from 100 yards and in, and do the homework. And this is how you get better, is spending the time here.
Correct, and like these are your scoring clubs, so you may as well get comfortable with them. And golf is all about adapting, so you always have to adapt to your conditions, and knowing that you have 3 different shots with 3 different clubs, that's the key.
Okay, we moved up from the 2 shots from the fairway, and now we moved up here to around the green. We've got a uphill shot with a left to right slope. There are 2 different options that we are arguing about. Nelly is seeing a different shot shape than I am, so I'll let her start.
Okay, the shot shape that I see is there's a like a ridge about, I don't know, I would say like 20 yards in front of me, and I would say maybe there's another 10 yards after that to the hole. And I see a higher, it not being that grainy, I see a higher shot and more of like a check release.
Okay.
With a 58 degree, especially it being into the wind and uphill. That's one of the reasons why I see it. I can be a little bit more aggressive with it. I know that's not what you see, but that's what I see.
Okay, this is...
Let's see who's closest to the
short game. This is options.
Variety.
Okay, you win.
No, I want to see your shot.
You win.
Come on.
You win. Let's see.
I want to see option B.
All right, so Nelly was explaining she sees a 2-hopper spinner stop. I'm seeing a slightly more of a draw shot here. Initially, I was seeing it into the hill, the first part of the crest, landing it there, then letting it hop on top. So I see it more driving here. That's kind of the option, which I like.
Please get in. Oh my gosh. I think they both work though.
Okay, so there's 2 different options here we explained. So that's the beauty of a short game. We can play different shot shapes and it's a fluid environment. So get out there and experiment and don't be afraid to try different things like we were just doing.
What'd you hit it with, a 54? You said
60. Here.
A 60.
Yeah.
The low one. No,
both of them.
The first with the 60?
Yeah.
Oh.
I just hit. I put it up on my stance.
Up in your stance. Back in your stance.
Let me build stance and come in here. Right foot. Left foot.
Oh, it is up in your stance. Okay. Oops.
And then swing out to the right.
Jesus.
And there's your draw.
Nice. To your front of this motion.
There's your draw.
Good draw.
Exactly.
Just hitting it too far. Nice. I love my check release.
Just always make sure that any of these shots, always the middle of the face.
Yeah,
that's where
I
grab
sometimes
the spin.
I hit it sometimes toey.
It pops up on you.
Yeah.
You can gravitate towards the center and the heel. And keep it in that pocket, you'll have more spin.
Would you say the toe is because you lift up?
Yes.
Lift up. Don't lift up through impact.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Very better. Make it a good lie.